And now we have the first big news for the day. Folks, your 10-minute delivery startup is now held together by a $7 billion valuation. That's right, Zepto has raised a fresh round of funds, 450 million US dollars. The startup founded in 2021 by a young Adit Palicha and Kaivalya Vora. The startup popularized the 10-minute grocery delivery model across India's major cities. And over time, it's grown into one of the fastest scaling consumer startups in the country. And this raise comes months after Zepto's $665 million and $340 million round last year, when it was valued at just $5 billion. And in total, the company now has raised nearly $2 billion since its inception. And Zepto has clocked rupees 11,000 crore, which is nearly $1.3 billion in turnover in FY 2025. And this is a sharp 150% jump from its 4,450 crore rupees in FY 2024. And this number was according to a regulatory filing that was reviewed by the media outlet Entracker. And as per the report from July this year, the company was at a $3 billion annual gross order value or GOV, and it halved its losses over the last year. In FY24, Zepto incurred losses of 1,248 crore rupees on a revenue of rupees 4,455 crores. And look, let's face it, most of us just don't use Zepto. We also use some of Zepto's biggest rivals, that is Blinkit, Swiggy's Instamart, and of course Big Basket. So now let's shed some light on one of Zepto's biggest rival. Yep, that's Zomato's Blinkit. Because in Eternal's Q2 FY26 earnings, Blinkit showed a tremendous performance. Now, mind you, Blinkit is now owned by Zomato and it continues to dominate the category and posted some striking numbers in its Q2 FY26 earnings. So, its net order value grew 137% year on year and 27% quarter on quarter. It's the highest growth it's seen in 10 quarters. And Blinkit's store network now stands at 1,816 dark stores with 272 new additions in this quarter alone. And the company has raised its 2025 target to 2,100 stores and aims for 3,000 stores by 2027. So now around 80% of Blinkit's orders come from its own inventory, and it expects to reach 90% by the next quarter, thus completing a major shift from the marketplace model. And this move has boosted gross profit margins by about 3 percentage points, though EBITDA improvement was slower than expected, with margins at a negative 1.3% this quarter versus a negative 1.8% in the last quarter. So Zomato attributed the slowdown to strategic investments in marketing and infrastructure, with marketing spends rising 4 times year on year and 1.4 times quarter on quarter. And over 90% of Zomato's total capital expenditure in the second quarter went to Blinkit. And that's roughly 1 crore rupees per store, including the back end warehousing, of course. And Blinkit also benefited from a 3% GST reduction on its basket, which is expected to further lift demand in the upcoming quarter. Meanwhile, Swiggy's Instamart continues to expand aggressively beyond Tier 1 cities by leveraging its existing delivery fleet. And you also have the Tata backed Big Basket, which is quite refining its BB Now service to compete in the 10 to 15 minute delivery segment. And now, giants like Flipkart and Amazon have entered the race. Flipkart's new Minutes delivery pilot and Amazon's 10-minute grocery service are testing India's readiness for large scale same hour logistics, signaling a shift from a niche convenience ecosystem to a mainstream habit. Besides, we have other apps such as Rapido also signaling a move to go into delivery. And you know what? All of that is only going to increase the valuation of the quick commerce market in India. Look, the quick commerce market in India is worth around 64,000 crore rupees today, and that number could triple by 2028. But it's a capital intensive business. Building dense dark store networks and maintaining a sub 15-minute delivery timeline comes at high operational costs. So only cities with dense demand and efficient inventory systems can sustain the profitability. So, all in all, quick commerce is no more just a fad because the continued interest from global investors, especially from long term funds like CalPERS, indicates that the market sees this as the next phase of India's retail evolution and not just a passing fad. And going back to Zepto, their journey hasn't been without challenges because last year the company faced vast criticism over its alleged dark patterns, which are UI designs that nudged users toward higher priced items, tip defaults, or auto renewing subscriptions. Now, following regulatory scrutiny from the Central Consumer Protection Authority or the CCPA, Zepto overhauled its interface, introduced clearer disclosures, transparent delivery and tipping fee options, and simplified workflows. These steps help restore credibility and align the platform with India's emerging digital fairness norms. So, with this new round of funding, Zepto is shifting from hypergrowth to scale and sustainability. The company's next challenge is to improve unit economics while defending market share against deep pocketed incumbents such as Eternal's Blinkit and, of course, Flipkart and Amazon. Look, Zepto's latest raise isn't just another heading that it used to be. It marks a turning point from fast growth to a long term game of operational discipline and trust. And yet again, folks, quick commerce isn't just a convenience anymore. It's becoming the new frontline of India's retail ecosystem.